With a team selection not on merit, the USA basketball team, once dominant, is now winning by the barest of margins. Caitlin Clark trolled Cheryl Reeve after a thrilling 1-point victory in the Paris Olympics final. Team USA's women's basketball team narrowly won the gold medal in Paris, but the victory was far from convincing. The final score was 67-66, with the USA edging out France by just 1 point. Cheryl Reeve, the coach who controversially left Caitlin Clark off the Olympic roster, was visibly anxious on the sidelines. Her team, considered a powerhouse, was on the verge of a significant upset, and only last-minute heroics by Aja Wilson prevented what could have been a disastrous outcome. The close win has intensified the debate over Reeve's decision to exclude Clark from the team. The game revealed some obvious issues with the roster, particularly in areas like outside shooting, where Clark could have made a difference. The US team, expected to dominate, instead struggled throughout the match, making uncharacteristic turnovers and failing to showcase the superiority that has long been associated with American women's basketball. As the game went on, Reeve's nervousness was clear, especially when France started to gain momentum. Every time the camera showed her, it looked like she was second-guessing her decision to leave Clark out. The turnovers were a big problem, turning the game into more of a chaotic mess than a show of top-level basketball. This was a team once considered unbeatable, but their performance against France made people question if they could still hold that title. France, on the other hand, followed a well-prepared game plan and took advantage of the weaknesses in Team USA's strategy. They played like a top team, with great teamwork and accuracy, while the US players looked like they were playing together for the first time. The American team's lack of coordination was surprising, especially considering their experience and past victories. In the end, even though Team USA won the gold medal, they lost their reputation as the unbeatable force in women's basketball. Caitlin Clark's absence has become the focal point of criticism. Reeve's decision to leave her off the team was already controversial, but the close call against France has made it appear even more questionable. Clark is not just a talented player, she's been redefining expectations in women's basketball. Her ability to shoot from long range, her vision on the court, and her clutch performances are exactly what Team USA lacked in the final. Her presence could have provided the team with the firepower they needed to win more convincingly. Clark's impact isn't just about her skills on the court, she has a special quality that attracts fans and attention. Team USA missed this in Paris. The reasons given for leaving her out, like her youth and lack of experience, seem weak, especially given her success in the WNBA, where she's been breaking records in her rookie season. Her age didn't stop her from excelling in professional basketball, so it's hard to believe it would have been a problem in the Olympics. It's puzzling that while Caitlin Clark was left out, players like Diana Taurasi, who didn't even play in the final, were chosen. No disrespect to Taurasi's legendary career, but in a tough battle for gold, you'd want your best current players on the court. The decision to leave Clark off the team seems less like a smart strategy and more like a big mistake as time goes on. The impact of this decision goes far beyond just one game. It's causing a major shift in women's basketball. The WNBA has been gaining popularity, and much of that is due to the Caitlin Clark effect. Fans tune in to watch Clark with the same excitement they have for NBA superstars. But when she wasn't on the Olympic team, the ratings didn't exactly soar. Even NBA stars have noticed. Draymond Green, known for speaking his mind, criticized USA basketball for leaving Clark out. He pointed out what many were thinking, that this wasn't just a basketball mistake, but a missed marketing opportunity. The impact of this decision goes beyond just marketing. It sends a worrying message to young players in the sport. When one of the most exciting and influential players in women's basketball is left off the Olympic team, it raises doubts about what really matters in choosing the team. It suggests that even with great talent and the ability to bring in new fans, old traditions may still be deciding who gets to play. This has led to a bigger discussion about USA basketball's future. Are they still putting together the best team, or are they holding on to outdated ideas of paying your dues and waiting your turn? With global basketball being more competitive than ever, can the USA afford to leave its top talents out? Another perplexing aspect of the Olympic final was the case of Diana Taurasi. Taurasi is undoubtedly a legend in the sport, with a resume that speaks for itself. However, in the gold medal match, she didn't play a single minute. This is particularly curious since Taurasi was chosen over Caitlin Clark for this very Olympic team. The decision to keep Taurasi on the bench during the most critical game raises serious questions about the team's strategy. In a one-point game, most coaches would likely prefer to have a player on the court who could make a significant impact rather than someone providing moral support from the sidelines. This situation shows a big problem with the team selection. A spot that could have gone to Caitlin Clark, a young and talented player who's been making an impact in the WNBA, was given to a veteran who didn't play in the crucial moments. This makes us question whether the team was chosen to win or just to stick with old traditions. If the goal was to create the best team and show off USA Basketball's strengths, then leaving a key player out of the final was a serious mistake. While Taurasi watched from the bench, Caitlin Clark was likely back home, eager to get back on the court and prove why she should have been in Paris. The difference between their situations is striking and will likely fuel debates for years to come. Stepping back, this isn't just about one player or one tournament, it's about the future of women's basketball. On one side, we have USA Basketball, known for its dominance and traditional team building. They've been the best for decades, but as seen in the close game against France, even the strongest teams can falter. On the other side is Caitlin Clark, representing a new wave in the sport. Her impact isn't just in her skills, it's in the excitement she brings, the fans she attracts, and the way she's redefining what's possible in women's basketball. This Olympic tournament might be a turning point, the moment when the old guard of USA Basketball realizes that sticking to tradition might not be enough anymore. The game is changing, and if they want to remain at the top, they must adapt to the new dynamics that players like Clark bring to the sport. As the WNBA season continues, we're about to witness these two worlds collide. Olympic gold medalists fresh from their victory in Paris will be facing Caitlin Clark, the young star with something to prove after being left off the Olympic roster. These matchups are more than just games. They represent a battle for the future of women's basketball. Will the established stars maintain their dominance? Or will Clark and other young talents signal a new era for the sport? The next few months will be crucial in determining the direction of women's basketball. Looking ahead, the drama is just beginning. The WNBA playoffs are on the horizon, and the Indiana Fever, led by Caitlin Clark, are in the thick of the playoff race. Every game is critical, with one win potentially being the difference between a playoff spot and an early end to the season. The Olympians who recently secured the gold medal are returning to the WNBA, and they'll have targets on their backs. Clark no doubt has marked those matchups on her calendar, eager to prove herself against the very players who were chosen over her for the Olympic team. Imagine the headlines when Clark faces Aja Wilson, the player who saved Team USA in the gold medal game, or when she goes up against Chelsea Gray, the point guard who took the spot Clark might have filled. These aren't just games anymore, they're statements. And Clark, who has already broken several records in her rookie season, isn't done yet. She's close to setting new benchmarks, like the most three-pointers by a rookie and possibly breaking the assist record. With every game, she inches closer to making history, and the excitement is only building. These upcoming games are set to be more than just contests. They're key moments in the narrative of women's basketball. Clark's performance in the WNBA's second half will be closely watched. Will she lead the Fever to a surprising playoff run, or will the seasoned Olympic veterans reassert their dominance on the court? The dynamics between the old guard and the new generation will be at the forefront of every game. The decisions made during the Olympic roster selection will also continue to be scrutinized. Some might argue that leaving Caitlin Clark off the roster was a major mistake, especially considering her impact in the WNBA. Others might believe that the gold medal justifies the choices made by Cheryl Reeve and the coaching staff. But as Clark continues to prove her worth on the court, the debate will only grow louder. That's all for this video.